went to war when I was 18 years old. I fought in combat with the 1st Infantry Division. I had a hard time when I came back from the war and struggled pretty good.
I was diagnosed with PTSD, pretty severe, about 4 or 5 years ago. And I've been in counseling since then. And this counseling has helped me not only be proud once again of what I did, because I served for almost 11 years. I'm again feeling that this is part of, like I said before, part of a family.
When I came back from war, I had a hard time and I ended up homeless myself. Spent 3 or 4 different times being homeless, including once in the wintertime in Minnesota. It was horrible. Living alone on the street, having nowhere to go. Very, very hard on me. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't have nothing right now. So it's very important for me to hang around with other vets who went through similar things.
But there was a lot of things that happened to me that I didn't realize at the time. One of them is I had problems sleeping. And I didn't know why. I always slept with something on my back. I had been knocked out of my bunk a couple times in Iraq due to large explosions. And I couldn't figure out why I was sleeping on the couch all the time. That just felt safe to me. And it took me a long time, with not only my wife's help, but others' help, to realize I was dealing with some veteran issues that many people faced. I sometimes think about veterans that had to go into Fallujah and kick in every door of the city. When I think about veterans, I think about people like us who often see terrible things and are committed for the sake of our country to do terrible things to protect our way of life.
And I talked to a few of the veterans here in the church, a couple of them, and just asked them, hey, what do you guys think if we were to start up a veterans group in our church?
Raul is one of the greatest human beings on this planet I've ever met. And I don't say that lightly, and I don't just say it to say it. He is one of the nicest gentlemen that I've ever met that would literally give the shirt off his back to help anyone, anywhere. He's willing to serve, he's willing to lead, he's willing to do anything, not only for his country, but for his church, and even more so for his community. And that's why I am so honored to see him partnering with this great organization to make this happen.
So yes, we're family, and we consider ourselves family here within our military network group. But at the same time, family does things for other people as well. And so one of the things we wanted to look into is what can we do in the community that can help somebody else out. When Pastor Jeff, the executive pastor, mentioned to me about the Habitat Project, we have a veterans group here at our church. I think this would go great with your veterans build.
I have my own home now. Things got better for me, and worked really hard and got my own place. And when I go home every day, I have a place to go home. Well, we're able-bodied men to still go out and help folks, and to have a purpose to go out and help another veteran out. It's very important for us to go out and get our group together and go out and step outside of ourselves. Life can get busy, and we can fill our lives full of a lot of activities. But when you go out to help somebody else out, put something deep down inside of you. Makes you give yourself a different purpose in life.
It's just something about security. When you have a house, when you have a place that you can go to at the end of the day, when you have a place where your family is at, there's so many veterans that are completely homeless. And just to give someone that stability of a place to call their own, to give them some ownership, to give them some sort of responsibility even, some sort of purpose.
Even though we deal with vets through the entire state, it seems that the areas where there is a VA, that seems to be more of a magnet for veterans because they're coming here for services, whether it be St. Paul or the St. Cloud VA. Housing is a huge piece of, especially when I'm working with homeless vets, vets that maybe they're couch surfing, maybe they're sleeping in their car, because if they don't have stable housing, they're not going to be in a spot where they can effectively apply for a job.
We had no idea that there was this project going on, and it was actually Raul that found out about it and began to connect with that project. And so it's actually a joy to be able to partner with another great organization making a difference in central Minnesota and in this area to be able to do that.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the family.
Giving a veteran the opportunity to own a home is something that's truly amazing. We've been able to do that and come back home to something that's not theirs, a rental or a trailer or somebody's garage or a friend's house or whatever.
Without people like you, we wouldn't be able to build 100 homes across Minnesota.
And I believe that something like this that Habitat for Humanity is doing for veterans, something to call their own, is a tremendous opportunity and a tremendous blessing in itself.
There are so many things that bring divide to people, and I think that there's a beautiful unity that comes out of doing something together and crossing church and denominational and community lines and just coming together for a common purpose that's bigger than all of us.
In reality, the most human people, the most humane people, are the ones who actually are active in the life that's going on around them. To bless another family by actually helping build their home is something that can change people's lives.
The other important piece that sometimes gets lost is families. You know, like I served, but so did my wife, so did my children. When I was deployed, that left my wife home alone with 2 young children to fend for herself.
But by helping on the build, you are giving some of your love in a simple way to what the world is now and what we hope it could be, which is certainly part of the mission of Habitat for Humanity. The transition back home to health or to being a person that can live in our world is often a far rockier road than we realize. And what I appreciate are organizations that are trying to help people on this road move forward. And certainly locally, as a pastor of a church, seeing a habitat build for veterans, which I am, right next door, makes me really happy because it's allowing a brother or sister to move forward with their family in the community in which they want to live.